Hello everyone, my name is Sergey Polivar and I've been living on this island for over 12 years. Every morning for me is two completely different feelings. On the one hand, it's that heavy sleepiness, your kid is still asleep, you're half asleep, and somehow you need to get up and kick off the day. But on the other hand, there's this incredible beauty of nature that saves you when you're in that state. Sunrises from your very own mountain. Every morning we get together, head out, and I repeat one mantra to myself. We live on the most beautiful island, and it's the perfect field of opportunities. There's one thing though you just can't adapt to. It's impossible to get used to waking up at 6:30 a.m. and by 7:30 driving your sleepy kid to school. By 7:30 to 7:40, you need to drop them off and then pick them up at 1 p.m. It's inconvenient, not only in the morning, when you can barely open your eyes and drive, but also at lunchtime. Because in reality, all Cypriots and even our company employees leave work around 1 p.m. to pick up their kids, feed them, and drive them to after-school activities. And what's even funnier is that everyone hits the road at the exact same time. That's traffic in Paphos for you. We wait and wait and wait. At 7:45, the workday officially begins for all the parents living in Cyprus. On the one hand, it's great we're already out and have a long, productive day ahead. On the other hand, my God, it's just torture for people. So here's a huge thank you to all the parents out there. Another funny thing is parking. We got here at 8:50. No one has even arrived at work yet, but the cars are already packed in, no spaces left. Today at the office, we're bringing in some really cool gifts from our clients who make products like these beautiful coasters for tea, coffee, even air. Stop by the office, you'll see. This is surreal. What the heck? Tell me, how are we even going to open up? There's nothing, no internet, and the door is locked. It's 9 a.m. and there's nobody at the office. Okay, so where do we even put things? I walk into the office and there's no internet. The doors won't open because they're hooked up to Wi-Fi. The production isn't running because they literally need internet to function. Not a single employee is here either. They all decided to work from home using their mobiles. What is this? Why does it happen? I called our service provider, Sita. For context, Sita is one of the biggest internet companies in Cyprus. And while we've been talking here, the same dreadful music is still playing on the line and nobody picks up. It's like a patience contest. And who's stronger? We're 6 minutes into waiting already.
Hello. Hello, yes, my name is Sergey. I'm calling because we have no internet third day in our office and we still don't understand what happened with the line.
And the company name?
It's Polivar Management. It's very, very low speed, like we have no internet.
I think now you close the modem, not the router.
We restart and modem and router.
Up in the mountains, it's around 10 degrees Celsius right now, while here on the coast, it's 20 degrees Celsius. And this is winter, December. People are out here fishing. You can even spot turtles, fish, and other sea creatures. It's amazing living in Cyprus in winter because when you come down to the coast, it's warm and sunny, plus 20. But when you drive up into the mountains, it's minus 10 with snow on the ground. Here you can switch between cold and warm climates without even leaving the island, just a 40-minute drive up to the mountains. And when the year's end comes, everyone heads off on holiday starting next Monday, often leaving obligations like money transfers unfinished. So you start calling around, pushing people to get it done by the end of the week, just so you can pay salaries on time. That's the entrepreneur's reality. Collect money, distribute money. Only at 12:45 did I finally see the invoice Diana resent. I said, hey, we actually sent this a week ago. I don't care about their excuses. I just need the money to hit our account tomorrow.
Hi, Dad. How are you?
Hi, son. All good. I'm on my way to Minthis now to check out a house.
Got it.
Right now we're driving through Kato, Paphos, and I was recently talking to some of our clients. They asked me, Sergey, how do we choose the right area in Paphos so we'll be comfortable living there? And I said, well, I can pretty much tell you about every neighborhood, because when I first moved to Paphos, in 7 to 8 years, I changed homes about 7 times. I lived by the sea, I lived in gated complexes, in integrated communities, in villas, in different areas and apartments. So here's what I can say. If you love the warmth, like we just felt on the seafront, and you want the sea and infrastructure nearby, then you should definitely look at areas like Kato, Paphos, Universal, Cloraca, Kisanurga, or the city center. If you're the type who wants privacy, seclusion, and to live in a beautiful gated community, then you'll want to go higher up into places like Tala, Kamaris, Tsada, Minthis, Konya, or Peyia, if you don't mind the distance. And if you want to live in a closed, high-end community with unique infrastructure and atmosphere, then of course we're talking about Cap St. George. That's true luxury real estate right on the shoreline. Literally, you step out of your house and you're on the beach. Beautiful, unforgettable. If you haven't seen it yet, check out our Paphos tour on our channel. We've covered all these areas in detail. That way you'll get a clear picture of how to choose the right spot for your life and leisure. Now, which areas should you not consider for real estate? If someone tells you, this area will soon be booming, life will come here, make sure to double check 10 times. We've had clients who bought multiple apartments in places like Anavargos or in Timi near the airport or Mandria. These are really far out districts. Sure, they'll probably develop one day, but nobody knows when. We've arrived at Minthis. As you know, Minthis is one of the finest projects on the island.
And children listen to hear stray bird in the snow.
The house is pretty big. How many square meters is it?
Sergey, it's 300 square meters.
Here we've got 4 bedrooms.
4 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, and a very spacious living area. When you open up the doors here and there, the courtyard space and the outdoors just flow seamlessly into the indoor living area, and then it all blends smoothly into the pool.
Such an amazing lounge area with a stunning view.
And do you know how big the plot is?
How big is it?
1,290 square meters.
That's the beauty of a premium product. And it's also the beauty of Minthis, because it's not right on the coast, but a bit further inland. That allows for larger plots. And the kitchen here is quite spacious.
What you're seeing here is a sample of a standard house. From this point, you can really get creative and add anything your heart desires.
And what if I wanted, say, a Barbie Rose kitchen? It doesn't really fit into the style of the village. To get a better feel for the resort's infrastructure, I suggest we step outside and take a look at how it all looks from the outside. I want to show you the olive trees. The olives here in Minthis are 400, 500, 600, even 700 years old. Just look at the size of this tree, how long it's been growing. It's incredible to see these trees that were here long before us and will still be here long after. By the way, what's the total size of Minthis?
500 hectares of land. Can you imagine? 500 hectares.
People come here, buy a home, and live on 500 hectares with only 3% of it developed. We've got golf here. What else does Minthis offer?
There's an incredible spa.
The spa is the best on the island. I can say that as someone who goes there almost every day, whether it's the gym, the pool, yoga, or of course the spa complex itself. You know, walking 10 kilometers across the golf course, sipping tea and playing golf, that's just amazing. And the kids club, that's a real lifesaver. Because as a parent, I can say kids are the best thing in life, absolutely. But sometimes you need to hand them over somewhere safe and just rest. All right, thanks for the tour. Let's head back to the office. Such a beautiful location and the spa looks fantastic.
We are not in the office, but some of our employees still in the office.
And they check the speaker, they see the
So the internet at the office never came back, That's pretty standard practice here in Cyprus. And since we've got a podcast tonight, we're heading home, changing up the vibe, and diving back into the workday.
I'm from Ukraine and I live in Cyprus the last 12 years. Originally I born in Ukraine, but now I can call Cyprus my home.
So we recorded a podcast with Kyriakos, who's creating a new product for the Cyprus market because we're all growing.
Nice. Good luck with this and see you in the next podcast. Thank you.
It's a really great idea what these guys are doing because they're making podcasts with people who actually live in Cyprus. Honestly, that's one of the most important ideas since it shows real life on the island.
Sergey, hi. Where are you? We're all waiting for you already.
And so begins our evening routine because our good friend Masha Ladina is visiting. She came from Italy and she's one of the best Italian chefs. Tonight we're cooking dinner together because opportunities like this don't come every day. So we're off to the most popular supermarket here. The most common supermarket in Cyprus is Alpha Mega, probably the best place to buy basic groceries. Let's see what's on the shelves, what it all costs, and grab ingredients for a delicious dinner with Masha tonight. It's winter now, which means citrus season. And honestly, the oranges, mandarins, and citrus fruits here in Cyprus are probably the best in the world. And if you didn't know, avocados grow on trees, just like Christmas ornaments. It's amazing to pick them fresh in the garden. In the supermarket, they cost €3.80. And tomorrow morning, we'll have a proper breakfast with fried eggs and fresh avocado. The grapes here are amazing too. Our little one absolutely loves them. Let's grab some strawberries. Right now they cost €7.69, which is pretty expensive because in season the same box goes for around €4 to €5. Dairy production in Cyprus has been growing rapidly, and that's great because it's no longer powdered but fresh. We're getting this €2.89 pack of lactose-free Cypriot milk. The kids absolutely love it. Bread here is also something special. Warm, fresh, and really tasty. It's only €1.42. Since Masha is cooking chicken tonight, and there's no fresh chicken available, we're getting frozen ones instead. They're good quality and cook pretty fast. Though of course it's always nicer to eat a young spring chicken than a big grown one. About 10 years ago, Cyprus didn't even have Italian products on the shelves. Now you can find mass producers like Barilla, smaller brands like Bertolli, and at least a dozen others, plus local ones. And while we're filming, I suddenly realize Kirill's holding the phone for shooting. So how am I going to pay? Luckily, Apple Watch comes to the rescue. Just tap and you've got access to your card. Hi, come in. So here we are at home, and tonight is something special. Our friend Masha Ladina has come over from Italy. She also happens to be a top chef.
We're cooking at home. Italian cuisine is by nature home style, so we're making something Italians would gladly enjoy themselves. Tonight, it's pasta.
I brought tagliatelle from Italy. It's a dry pasta, but of excellent quality. We're making it with a duck ragu that's been simmering on the stove for about 3 hours. There are vegetables, wine, tomatoes, and Sergey is in charge of picking the wine. For the main course, we're preparing chicken with lemon, potatoes, and chili. Sometimes when the workday ends, you're surprised yourself at how dynamic and eventful it was. We live on an island, and people here live at completely different rhythms. Cypriots live in their island pace, while expats start the day with high energy and are always rushing somewhere. But there is a golden middle ground, when a bit of spontaneous chaos slips into your carefully planned schedule. And you know, that often saves the day. This is just an ordinary dining table where we eat, but it has a very interesting story behind it. At some point, we began inviting friends, clients, and partners over to treat them to good food. And we marked the location on the map as if we had a restaurant here. Naturally, people started leaving reviews, giving ratings, and uploading photos. At one point, we realized that people were coming here as if it were a real restaurant, but of course there is no restaurant here, this is just a home. So if you want to come here, the only way is by becoming a client or partner of SPM. He really loves being on camera.
Do you want to film the salad at night?
Yes. Victoria, my God, we are just missing a horse and a farm.
Did we bring scissors? All right, good. Did you film it?
This is a wonderful rosé crémant from Burgundy. Sometimes you start the day with meditative music while doing yoga, then you switch to rock rhythms at full speed, tackling a whole spectrum of challenges, inspiring your team, motivating colleagues, selling the island, and in the evening you dive into the enchanting world of jazz, supported by what matters most in life, and of course that is being with your family. Only at home can you truly relax, listen to good music with a glass of wine and a delicious dinner, especially if it was cooked by one of your best friends, who also happens to be an ambassador of Italian cuisine and a top-class chef. Thank you for spending this day with me. In this new format of our videos, we will try to show the real side of life in Cyprus. We will show how things actually happen, where people have lunch, where the best places are to spend time with your family or on your own. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, leave a comment about what topics you would like us to cover next, and stay with us. If I lived in Limassol, this is where I would live. What can I say about this bedroom? These are fairy tale royal chambers. This is the central square of the marina. It is also very beautiful here with great fountains. How boring.
No, I could.
We need to talk to your architect. We are about to have an interview.
Allora, this is a ristorante italiano in Cyprus.
Italian culture here is a bit underestimated, let's put it that way.
Grazie mille.
Okay?